Number two of my age 46. Crazy, crazy. Okay, while we're waiting on people to join, real quick, remind y'all to go to coopedup.com. That's my website. And sign up for my email, my very infrequent email newsletter there. Um, if you are on Instagram, follow me at I'm Cooped Up. And then, whatever platform you're on watching this, be sure you click on a bell or whatever it is so that you get notifications when I go live or when I'm here, or whatever. So, hey, Mama, good to see ya. Hi. Hope you're doing well. So, anyway, give it a couple more seconds for people to join. Cheers. It is here in Dallas, it is a cold, dreary day. I think the high was like 42 degrees, and it's not raining. It's like where it just kind of like the air is wet, like it's kind of misty and all that. I had to go out, had a bunch of stuff to donate to Goodwill. We were cleaning out stuff in preparation for having Todd's parents here for the holidays. And, we've just gotten really, really bad since we've had no one in our house, literally, since the pandemic started. Just shit everywhere, all over the place. So clearing all that out. So we had a lot to donate. Also, kids grow, don't clean out the closets enough. So a lot of kids' clothes for that. So took that, got kind of wet doing that. And then I had to meet an architect, or actually a mechanical engineer at the new campus that we're working on for my kids' school. So the cold and wet. I'll tell you though, wearing a mask on a cold, wet day is a welcome experience because it keeps you warm. And my mom is saying it is 49.5 degrees and the same damp feel to it there in the College Station area. Yep. So I started my day. How about this? I started my day. I took a shower. I actually woke up a little bit later than normal. The kids are doing remote school this week, so they can quarantine in advance of Todd's parents getting here. And so we don't have to wake up quite as early and all that. And I got up, and I didn't do my walk this morning because it's so gross out, and got in the shower, got out of the shower, all of that, and put on my boxer briefs. And I'm walking around, and I'm like, well, this doesn't feel right. Like something is wrong. Then I realized I have them on back. I am literally wearing them backwards. I'm wearing my underwear backwards. Felt like a Bernice Clifton moment. If you are a follower of Designing Women, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bernice Clifton is the character that came in a couple of seasons into the show. She's the zany, kooky, played by, is it like Alice Thornton, I think is her name, who's also on Bewitched, who just kind of says whatever she wants. And I am somewhere between Julia Sugarbaker with the lectures and the haughtiness, and Bernice with just the wackadoo-ness. But I'm like, I'm wearing my underwear, but no wonder this felt weird. But here's the thing. It didn't feel weird enough for me to realize that that's what it was. Like, how weird is that also? Everything's weird. Everything's weird today. So underwear backwards is how I started my day on a cold, cold day. And then I hope y'all enjoyed the home tour yesterday, the holiday home tour. Got a lot of great messages. Thank you. But one of the things my sister messaged me last night, or texted me last night, it was like, you either need to put that Christmas tree up in your family room, or you need to take it out of your family room because it's in the tree bag. She was like, it looks like a dead body just standing up in the middle of the room, a big old body bag in the middle. It does. It literally just looks like a body bag on a stick. So that's like Todd's on the other side of this wall right here. He is doing that at this moment. I think like half the lights are not working, which is why I was like, peace out. I got my show. But I'm glad you liked the tour. Here's the dilemma that we're having. So we've not done everything that we normally do, but today is 10 days from Christmas. And I'm not sure that there is a cost-benefit analysis that could be done that says, or effort-benefit analysis, keep going. I think at this point, it's like, stop. Because you're going to have to take that shit down pretty soon, right? What are y'all's thoughts on that? For example, like those shrubs out in the front, I was wanting to put lights on them. It's too wet and cold today to do it. So if I do it tomorrow, literally we got maybe. I mean, I could probably keep him up until like mid-January and be only a slight weirdo, but I don't know that I want to do that, right? By the way, code enforcement came by again today. So I'm standing at the kitchen sink, uh, washing out a glass or something, and I see guy taking pictures, and I see the code enforcement truck, code compliance, and walk out, and I make sure I was like, "Hey, how can I help you? What's going on?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "I don't know why I am here, but I was told that these hollies are an obstruction or something. What do you know about it?" And so I went through the whole thing with them again. Snitchy McSnitchenstein is back, and he's like, "I don't know what this is about." And I was like, "It's about that one holly right there. It's over 8 feet tall, so it's exempt from the rules because if it has to be, but the rules govern things over 2.5 feet. But once they hit 8 feet, they're like grandfathered in or they don't count or whatever. So, and it's exactly 8 feet now. And so he's like, plus this is stupid. Your house is nice. You obviously take care of it. It's not blocking anything, all that. And so he was like, okay, okay, okay. So talk to him for a few minutes. He goes, I'm just going to close the case on this. This makes no sense whatsoever. Got got that one gone. So we'll see if that hangs out. I mean, she's snitchy is at it again. What bitchy? Yeah. Hmm. And Judy thinks I should keep decorating. Maybe it'll be up until the pandemic's over, and I can get you over here to help undecorate it. And Sandy liked the tour too. Thanks. It's so fun. By the way, Sandy, there's something that you mentioned yesterday in the comments that you live alone and you have the same issue with the stuff piling up on the stairs. I've started researching it. Did you know that there are these things called stair baskets? And basically, they are a basket that is shaped like I don't know if you can see that. Shaped like that. No, you can't see that. Um, it basically climbs the stair like the basket does. Is that better? Is that more obvious? Yeah. So like the stair, it'll climb the stair. And so like there's one part that's deep and one part that's shallow. And I'm thinking about getting one of those. So here's my thing on that also though. So I know that that's a habit of ours. It's a habit of everybody's, and you just walk past it, right? I couldn't tell you how many times I walk up and down those stairs and do not grab the things that I mean to take up, even if I just set them at the top of the stairs. So is the basket going to help with that, or is it just going to make it look nicer? Is it going to be something that I just grab the basket and take it? But like, I think it was Ballard, maybe. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was really, really pretty, like woven basket designed for exactly this purpose. Does it encourage said behavior? Like, are we going to end up having just a full basket of shit? And maybe a full basket of shit, at least it looks good, is better than random toothpaste boxes and deodorant and shoes and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. What do y'all think on that? And do you have one? If you have a stair basket, let me know. Let me know if that actually works also. Weirdest thing is from Ballard. Ballard is where it's from. Yes, I saw it, right? I love Ballard. So I was a Ballard fan when they were like forever ago, when they were before they got all designer and shit, and now they're really expensive. So, but some stuff is still pretty nice. Sorry, my nose just started itching all of a sudden. Um, but Kate is saying she is so conflicted about getting one for the same reason. Yes, but I don't know why I think my behavior is going to change. I've had staircases for my whole life, and there's always been shit on the stairs. So why not put it in a nice wicker basket, right? So, and Sandy wants to try one out too. Who knew that was my influencer status here? I'll put it in the comments in a minute. Um, my mom says I would get one if I had stairs. Yeah, I think it just helps organize things. I'm 95% there. I might add that to my Christmas list this year. Old thing. And Luke wants me to send Snitchy a nice little chocolate pie. I made it special for you. God, get one of my dogs to make the filling for it. Drove me nuts. Okay, so let me write that down because I won't remember stair basket because that was not on the list of things to talk about. But I'm there for it. If I think that it will work, maybe make things nicer. Embrace it. I don't know. So we'll see. funniest thing happened while eating lunch today. So it was Todd was on a call, so it was Claire and Mason and I sitting at our kitchen table downstairs, and we're eating lunch. And I was done and looked up something on my phone, and then I pulled up Instagram, and I was going to search something on Instagram. That's what it was. And so I go to the search. So you're on Instagram, and then I go to like the search window, right, where you do the little magnifying glass, and mine auto populates with that, right? A lot of hot men with no shirts on. Like it's that and Golden Girls memes, right? Oh, and there's one with Darren and from Bewitched too, right? So, but just a lot of, yeah, you see right here, a lot of hotness, right? And I don't know if it was Claire Mason who looked over my shoulder and was like, "Why do you have so many guys with no shirts on your iPhone screen?" And I said, "Oh, that's just there's a lot of people on Instagram who post stuff like that, and they'll post about something completely different, but they just have no shirt on, right? Or whatever, because they think that you're gonna think they're hot." And I was like, and it's called thirst trapping. It's called you're setting a thirst trap. It is a thirst trap. Claire, without skipping a beat, I'm so proud of her. Without skipping a beat, she goes, "Well, I think they caught you." I died. I luckily I was done eating. I died. I think they caught you in their trap. Oh, if there's I sent it to Carrie immediately and she was dying too. If there's anything that I leave for my children, it is a quick wit and a just bust someone's chops. Like I am there for that. And it just cracks me up because I always say we always want to raise kids that just take shit from no one except for you, right? I'm resigned to the fact that I am going to be a target of a lot of this too. But Daddy, I think they caught you in their thirst trap. Oh, I thought that was so funny. I think y'all are the weird thing about this is I say stuff and then I'm laughing at it, and then it shows up on y'all's thing 20 seconds later because it was a 20-second delay in Facebook Live. It should be Facebook 20 seconds later. And so sometimes I don't see the comments about it. Claire is awesome. I mean, the quickness and the sass about that just crack me up so much. This is a good age. I mean, the kind of moodiness of the tweendom and stuff is I don't love that part of it. I know that comes part and parcel with this, and it probably gets worse. It does get worse, but I like that they're at the age now where I don't have to shield them from so many things. Like I don't have to change who I am. If I like looking at hot guys with no shirts on, I'm like, hey y'all, I like looking at hot guys with no shirts on. I mean, obviously I do it in proper context, but just and that they can bust me on it. They're like, "Daddy, you are dirty." Speaking of dirty, this is a really weird transition. So yesterday was a weird day for me. My dad had open heart surgery in the morning. He is recovering. He is fine, talking. He came out of it, all that. So good stuff there. My sister, who is an angel, is taking care of him and deserves everything she gets in the will at this point. Um, and then it was my birthday, obviously yesterday. And then I find out yesterday evening that someone who I knew through SMU died. Greg Brown is his name. He died yesterday. He's a big supporter of like architecture and preservation and stuff here in Dallas. He worked at Meadows School of the Arts and at SMU when I was there. And it's so funny though because my friend my friend Emily, who was the one I found out about it from, I was like, oh, he's so sweet. He was because he worked at SMU when I was like in SMU. I was like, oh, he was one of the first dirty old men who ever hit on me, right? Dirty old gay men who hit on me. And she was like, he's not old, he's our age. I'm like, no, he's not. She's like, he's 55. I'm like, girl, I turned 46 today. She's like, that is our age. It's like, not when you're in college, not when you're 19 years old and this 29-year-old is hitting on you. That's an old man hitting on you, right? And I say all this affectionately. I'm not criticizing him because we're all lecherous at some point. And it's just gentle flirtation, just whatever. And I was worth being flirted with. Let me just put it that way. Um, Humility does not run in my family. My little brother is a professional wrestler, and I'm whatever this is, all of that. But um, I was thinking about it, and I was talking to Carrie about it because Carrie knows Greg, used to work in the same office with him, and she was like, "Yeah, like 10 years difference is a big fucking deal until like now. Like now I can see that someone who's 55 is not that much older than me, right? That's only 9 years, which is still seems like a lot to me. But the age gap, like if I were to date a 55-year-old, which I'm not, but look, well, not me, a 46-year-old dating a 55-year-old is not like scandalous. A 29-year-old dating a 19-year-old is, even a 29-year-old dating a 39-year-old is. Like, isn't that weird how time changes? And what 29 looked like when you were 19. Like everything was just big and old and like, I don't say gross. It wasn't gross. It was just different. Like one of my first boyfriends was Brad is his name. I was 20 and he was 31. We dated very briefly, but I was like, ooh, scandalous older man situation. Like, right? Um, so anyway, uh, I thought she would have asked, why were you looking at guys? We were getting a divorce. Are we getting a divorce? No. Okay. So one of the things about having two gay dads is you understand gay culture and men and all of that in a very different way than the average child does. And this is part and parcel with that. Um, and then um, Wendy is saying, I have at times blocked the first two steps of the damn stairs with their mess so the girls would take their crap up. They just jump over it and don't look back. Roll lies, roll eyes. I think they put so much stuff in the basket it would be too heavy for them to even carry up the stairs. But I've considered buying one of them for many years. You might need like 6 or 7 of them. You may just need a row of them all the way up the stairs, and you kind of move them up. Like when the top one is empty, move it to the bottom, and then all the rest of them up. Right? Daddy complexes. I mean, yeah, Daddy's got lots of complexes. um, and Judy is saying, "I bet you were so fun." In college, Cooper, I would have tried to flirt with you too. Oh, and I am a natural flirt. I'm not, fortunately, Todd does not have a jealous bone in his body. And he also knows I actually don't like sex that much. I mean, there's probably more information than you need to know. But I'm kind of like, there's no chance of me cheating on him because I barely like it with the one person. I'm not getting that on with everybody around the town, right? And so he's not jealous, but I get myself in trouble all the fucking time because I'm just a generally flirtatious, magnetic personality, right? And again, the humility comes back into it. But I actively remember people's names, so I will work their name into conversation, which to a lot of people sounds like fuck me. Um, I will like put my hand on someone, like I grab people's hands all the time when I'm talking to them, like as a connection, which to a lot of people means fuck me. I will. I sometimes when I walk with people, I will actually put my hand kind of in their arm when we're walking, which I now know means fuck me. Like that is what a lot of people misunderstand. Well, let me rephrase that. They misunderstand what I'm putting out, but maybe I'm putting out the wrong vibes and I don't mean it that way. Because so often I've had people like, you're hitting on my boyfriend. I'm like, no, I'm not. Please, I'm not. Or people are like, hey, you want to hook up later? And I'm like, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of. I'm the most boring, other than maybe looking at some shirtless guys on Instagram. I'm like the most boring gay man ever. I promise. So this is not where I intended this conversation to go either. Maybe this is hitting me a little harder than I thought. Um, anyway, well, that was a random aside there. And Wendy is saying multiple basket rotation. Great idea. I got lots of ideas. Let me send you a commissionable link so that when you buy them, at least I make some money on it. And if you're on reward style, like to know it. I'm Koopa Koch on that platform too. I'll post one. So What else? Oh, Todd was here. The trash is here. Luckily, we're drinking box wine right now, so it's not gonna be so loud. The uh, Todd was talking about something today. So I was addressing some cards and for Christmas cards and mailing them and stuff, and kind of file it under like shit we do now that feels really gross compared to a year ago, like blowing out candles on a birthday cake. I don't know that I'll ever get back to that. People just spewing their germs all over the cake and then eating it. Granted, it's cake, so it may be okay. But like sending cards, like think about the volume of saliva that is currently coursing through the United States Postal Service. Ew. Like Todd was looking at the envelopes earlier because he was mailing cards to all of like the VPs and managers and stuff at the company where he works. Just looking the envelopes and he was like, if I had COVID, I'm mailing COVID all over town. I'm mailing COVID all over the place. I use a sponge to seal them too, Aaron. That's what I do. Because what Todd was just doing like 20 of them. If I'm doing 100 of them, I'm like sponge, sponge, sponge. But isn't that weird to think about? Like just the amount of saliva, dried ass saliva that is coursing through the United States Postal Service right now. And we're all here opening up. Oh, look at this card. Putting your finger under the thing and opening it up. Ooh, I got I got Margaret's saliva on my finger now. Ooh, Henry, I like your saliva. Isn't that but just opening it also, like you're opening whether or not you seal it, whether or not you seal the envelope with the sponge, as Crystal does, as Aaron does, as I typically do, not everybody does. So maybe you're opening up an envelope that has a bunch of on it. And some of the cards I mailed yesterday have already started arriving today because I've gotten texts about it. So I don't know how long COVID takes to die. I mean, I don't believe I have COVID at the moment, but I don't know how long it takes to die. But I'd be pretty certain that if I had COVID and I'm looking at an envelope and sending it to you, you just got COVID at your house. And everyone's saying use a letter opener. I know you can. I'm saying not everybody does though. Half the time I just do the finger and just put it under. And I'm afraid I'm going to cut my tongue. Oh, one of my cuticles is just torn up from stuffing cards and envelopes and hitting the edge of the envelope and just slicing into it. One, so I was finally starting to bend them back. So I don't know. And Sarah says, no. I know. Gross conversation, right? By the way, Sarah, you asked a question on the show yesterday, and I saw it after the fact, and you asked a very deep, compelling question. What have I learned as my birthday is here? What have I learned in the past year? One of the things I learned in the past year is I can talk for 30 minutes 5 times a week about absolutely nothing and people will watch it. And I think, oh, I don't have anything to talk about, right? So that's one thing I learned. I learned that I like being a homebody. I already knew that. We get this from my sister, I get this from our mother as well, is we seem like these great social creatures. We're very friendly, outgoing and stuff. But the reality is, and we seem very extroverted, but the reality is once that's over, we want nothing more than to just not be around other people. I mean, I only really want to be around the 3 other people in my house and not even them all the time. But I've really learned that I like that I've learned that I am a better lunch lady than I thought I was, because that honestly has been the hardest part, is cooking every fucking meal all week long. Like that was the hardest part. And Crystal saying, if you talk, we will listen. Well, that's so sweet. Crystal, by the way, I got a confirmation today that I'm getting something, I think from Frey. Whatever their Grove Collaborative, I think was the name of it, that was showing up on the USPS. What's it? The notification that you get from the Postal Service in the morning about what mail you're getting. I think I'm getting something today. And Sandy saying, I love learning that too. I love being home. Yes. I also learned how to drive a fucking RV. That's a pretty major accomplishment. Driving basically a city bus. And you know who hasn't hit anything with it? This one. The other one's hit like 4 things with it. I've not hit anything. And Kate is calling me an extrovert, introvert. I need a recovery period after lots of socializing. Yes, I get energy from this. I do get energy from other people. That is true. Not lying about that. But it is not all. Like so I don't want to have a social life that has things every day of the week at all. A little bit goes a long way with me. Um so and that was always the hardest part for me as well. I assume that you're talking about talking about being social and then being not social, right? And changing. And we put such a great value in our society on people who go out and are socializing and all this kind of stuff that you kind of feel bad for not liking that. But I like it. Like I'm really cool with this whole situation right now. Um, I would like to go places occasionally just for a change of scenery, but not like I don't know. Yeah. Um, and Aaron is I love being at home. Same. It also helps that we have nice homes. Let's just put it that way as well. A lot of people who work for me, who are young, starting their careers, live in one-bedroom apartments, they are miserable because they're more social. They also are just, I mean, my first apartment was probably the size of this room, right? I think I would go crazy. Like living in the people in New York, I don't know how they do it. Like why the murder rate did not go up in New York, maybe it did during the pandemic of spousal suicide or spousal homicide or whatever. Because this would make me bat shit crazy if I had to stay in this room all the time. But I got a 7,000 square foot house. I get bored with one room. I say, oh, just close the door and go to a different room. That sounds so very Martha Stewart. I just go to my winter garden patio. Um, what to prepare for meals? Is that what you've learned? Is what to prepare for meals? Um, oh, and you got oh, I'm gonna use the same tip to get the fray for cheaper. I also learned that I have too much shit on Amazon Subscribe, and I now have enough toilet paper and paper towels and laundry detergent, frankly, and oh god, dryer sheets and all of that to easily last me through like two more pandemics. Oh yeah. So, what else? The cold day today reminded me of a funny story, and also Facebook reminded me of this the other day. Um, a bunch of years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, Gloria's is a restaurant here in Dallas. It's actually all over Texas, I think now, that we go to often. There's one here in an old fire station close to our house, and kids love it. We love it. They have food on the table like the minute you sit down. It's a great place for like a weeknight meal. High quality, they have good wine, all that kind of stuff. Fun patio. And but without fail, when we leave there, we get in the car and we're driving home and we have to pass Methodist Hospital. Mason will get one of the breath mints that they have at the door and he'll pretend he lost his tooth. He's like, oh, I lost my tooth. I lost my tooth. And we all just kind of play along, blah, blah, blah. Well, one night it was just me, Claire, and Mason in the car. And he did that. And we happened to be passing Methodist at that exact moment. I whipped into the Methodist emergency room parking lot, zoomed into a spot, threw the car into park, jumped out and said, come on, Mason, we're going. We got to get in the emergency room. And Mason knows to play along. Like he is like really, really good at like calling my bluff. So he's like, okay, he's got his shoe. He's running with me. I literally have him by the hand and we are running to the emergency room entrance. And he's going, we get to like the sliding doors and he stops and he's like, I was just joking. And he literally takes off running back to the car. We get back to the car. Claire is catatonic, seething with rage. You're so embarrassing. Why do both of you have to do that? Mason and I were like on the ground laughing so hard at that. And it just reminded me of that the other day. It just cracked me up. Yes, the bean dip at Gloria's instantly on the table, and the good chips. They have really good chips too. Um, uh, and my mom is clarifying. The hardest part was what I prepare for lunch and supper every day when I was married. Yes, you don't have to worry about that anymore. God rest his soul, or not. Is Carrie on tomorrow? Yes, she is on tomorrow, Jody. She sent me a birthday/Christmas present. She asked me specifically not to open it so that I will open it tomorrow with her. Although it's gonna have to be a shorter episode because I have to be somewhere at 5:10. Well, I have to accept a donation via Zoom tomorrow at 5:10. So yeah. And where can we submit ideas for topic? I always love your take on things. Do I need a suggestion box, a cooped up suggestion box? Maybe I should do that. You can always put it here. Keep a track of it and put it in the comments. I love getting off topic. And my mom has a recommendation for what to get your spouse if you run out of things to cook. I'm not saying that out loud, so there's deniable culpability, and it's not in the closed caption. Oh, and well, that's all I've got. I've got one more thing, but I'll save it for tomorrow or Thursday. So, all right. Well, let me look real quick at the comments. So, Kate, send topics. You can actually send them to Cooper@coopedup.com. That's my email address. And you go to coopedup.com, you can see it. You can post them here. You can send them through the messaging system here too, or you can just save them and ask me as it goes on. I'm pretty quick on my feet, so I don't need a lot of time to research things. And that's it. And I'm going to find that basket that I was looking at and post it in the captions to see if y'all like it and if it's worth the buy. Do I put it on my Christmas wish list? I don't like functional things on my Christmas wish list, but I do want that, so I don't know. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say bye. 32 minutes, man. This is how it happens. I say, I don't have anything to talk about. So I love you. It's important to know you are loved. Very much so. Always, particularly during the holidays, because I know a lot of people struggle right now, but you are loved. It's important to know that. Love that you watch it. It's my daily therapy. I miss you when you're not here, or I miss you when I'm not here. Let's put it that way. Oh, hey, Maggie from snowy Iowa. Hey, that's the part about Iowa. Iowa was gorgeous when we drove really close by to where you live on our big travels, but that is the snow part. Eric has told me about that. And I'm like, nope, not doing that. Oh, thank you, Beth. Always makes you smile. Oh, I got the weird little unicorn like staring at the background. So, okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 4:15 with Carrie tomorrow. For another episode of Cooped Up Live, should I say? Talk to you later. By the way, did you notice that my kids cussed on yesterday's show?